Hi, Michael Kujan here from St. Ambrose. Today, in our Sunday lesson for the adult formation, we looked at the dignity of work and the rights of workers. It's important to recognize that as people with His image and likeness, we have a special role to play in this world He created. The scriptures teach us that we were made to care for creation, to be good stewards of the things God has given us, so that we can take this world and transform it into something that's wonderful for all of us. And we have a duty to work in some respects because of our responsibility towards our families, toward our society. And, work is difficult because we live in a world with problems. But by working together, we can overcome problems through our collective work. We ultimately turn to Jesus as an example of a worker. A carpenter, after his father's example, he then went out to preach the gospel and to share God's message of love with all of us. And he performed works of mercy to those in need. Following Jesus as a model, as a worker, we too can be good workers in our world. We have a responsibility to care for ourselves, our families, and those in need in society. Work has a special dignity because we're persons. There is one sense in which work is just the stuff we use during the workplace and the stuff we do for the company. But really, the most important part of work is the person who freely expresses themselves through their work, contributes to things that are valuable in society. That subjective personal dimension of work is the most important thing. And the things that we do objectively, using machines to make products or learning skills to provide services, those are at the service of promoting the human person. We contribute to economic life through our work. We have to ensure that everybody has, on the one hand, the freedom to earn private property through work, but also we need to ensure that everybody, no matter their ability or their talents, has the ability to access the goods that they need to survive and to live a decent human life. The church teaches that everything God has given to us must be shared and available to all. In society, we participate in a common good through our work. We make sure everybody has a good place in the world. And we ensure at the same time we care for our own particular goods, our needs, and our families. So, according to justice, in our society, we need to make sure that everybody can freely offer their work to their employers and that they are justly compensated for their work. We need to make sure that products are sold fairly, that workers and consumers aren't being exploited. We need to make sure that those on the margins of society have access to the goods they need. And we need to make sure that everybody is involved together in the work of promoting social justice. The things we need don't grow on trees. We need to work to make them. So we in society, through the help of others, learn the skills we need to create wealth for everybody, to be more productive workers, and to ensure that we can use the technologies that are available to us now so that we can share in the creation of wealth. This wealth is not to be hoarded, but it is to be shared. It is to be made available to all because we are all human. The church has at times warned us against focusing only on people's right to earn wealth at the expense of those people who don't have access to what they need. And the flip side is also true. Sometimes we can focus so much on making sure everybody has what they need that we unfairly take from some. So there needs to be a balance between extremes. The church promotes this fair place of economic opportunity and social sharing as a model for our lives in society. So, what it all comes down to is we, as God's people, have rights and responsibilities. We have a right to work, to learn the skills we need, to be trained by those who know what to do. We have the right to a basic and just wage. We have the right to rest from work so we can care for our relationships with God and others. We have a right to a safe work environment. We have a right never to do something that we think it violates our conscience. We have a right to make sure that if we become unemployed, we're not falling off the face of the earth. We have something to help us get through that, from unemployment benefits or other social structures to help us out. We have a right to access insurance that we need for situations where we're really desperate in those times. And we have a right to parental leave to promote our care for our families, the right to meet together, potentially in the form of labor unions, to fight for workers' rights, and if necessary, to strike against unjust employers, using not violence, but the committed will of the people to bring about needed change. So throughout this lesson today, we focused on the dignity of work, economic life, and the rights of workers. Next week will be Mom's Group meeting, and then February 13th, we will be resuming once again, looking at the preferential option for the poor and vulnerable. So I hope to see you then.